Thank you so much, Shaman Prabhu. So, Hare Krishna devotees, welcome back to the Caritamrta study class. So today we'll try to complete this chapter. Now we are starting from verse 130 of chapter 10, Madhya. Hope screen is visible to all. Can someone confirm, please?
Yes, Prabhu.
So, Caritamrta, Madhya, chapter 10, text 130 onwards. So we completed very interesting discussion uh, we had between Swarup Damodara and Lord Chit Mahaprabhu. And now today will cover two more very interesting topics, very interesting discussions. One is between Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Govinda, and other one is between again Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Brahmananda Puri. So these two are very, very interesting discussions. With this, we'll complete this chapter. आराधीन सार्वभौम आदिभक्त संगे विषय विषय आचेन महाप्रभु कृष्ण कथारंगे. The next day, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sat with all the devotees headed by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and they discussed the pastimes of. So we are going to discuss very uh, more important topics today. So as the pastime of Swarup Damodara and Lord Chaitanya Prabhu completed, now we are entering into next one more interesting discussion. तेन काले गोविंदेरा हैला आगमना दंडवत्कारी काहे विनय वचना. At that time, Govinda appeared on the scene, offered his respectful obeisances, and spoke submissively. So we'll see who is Govinda and why he is coming to have darshan of Lord Chaitanya Prabhu, what is the intention. We are going to see in coming discussion. ईश्वर पुरी भृत्या गोविंद मोरा नाम पुरी गोसा नीरा अग्नया आईनु तोमार स्थाना. I am the servant of Ishwar Puri. My name is Govinda. And following the orders of my spiritual master, I have come here. So, just before departure from this mortal world, uh, Ishwar Puri has instructed uh, Govinda that we are seeing in verse 133. It says, just before departure from this mortal world to attain the highest perfection, Ishwar Puri told me that I should go to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and render services unto him. Now, who is Ishwar Puri? Ishwar Puri is spiritual master of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now, Govinda is again direct disciple of Ishwar Puri. Ishwar Puri and Govinda and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are god brothers because they are from the same spiritual master. So, though Govinda is a god brother of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and still knowing well who Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was, Ishwar Puri instructs Govinda to engage in cosmic service of the Lord. So Ishwar Puri knows very well what is the intention of Supreme Lord to appear as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he wanted Govinda to help in the mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and instructed him to uh, serve him. So in verse 134, Govinda says that Kashishwara will also come here after visiting all the holy places. However, knowing the orders of my spiritual master, I have hastily come to be present at your lotus feet. So now let us see who Govinda and Kashishwara are actually. In Krishna Leela, Kalavati and Shashireka, they are in Vraja Leela, they bring Yamuna water to Lord Krishna. So these personalities, Kalavati and Shashireka in Vraja Leela, they appear in Gaur as Kashishwara Pandita, Govinda and Kashishwara Pandita. So Kashishwara Pandita will follow. We are going to briefly discuss about him. So Kashishwara Pandita is a very strong, powerfully built personality physically, and his service was always to walk before Lord Chaitanya Prabhu, wherever Lord Chaitanya Prabhu goes. So he used to be in front of Lord Chaitanya Prabhu, keeping all the crowds away from touching him. Like a current when we celebrities, we see some bouncers. They try to protect celebrities, and so likewise, Kashishwara Pandita was doing this service. He was not allowing devotees to go and come and touch Lord Chaitanya Prabhu, embrace him. So he was just trying to protect Lord Chaitanya Prabhu and clearing the crowd. And after that, Kashishwar Pandita was used to serve prasadam to all the devotees. So this is there is so much about Kashishwara and Govinda, but since the time is very short, we'll proceed with our discussion. गोसानी काहिला पुरीश्वरा वात्सल्य करे मोरे कृपा करे मोरा थानी पाथाइला तो मारे. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, my spiritual master Ishwar Puri always favors me with paternal affection. Therefore, out of his causeless mercy, he has sent you here. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very humble. He was glorifying his spiritual master Ishwar Puri, saying that Ishwar Puri is such a great personality. He is having so much of affection towards me, and he, out of causeless mercy, he sent Govinda to me. So therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying. After hearing this, Sarvam Bhattacharya asked Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, why did Ishwar Puri keep a servant who comes from Shudra family? So Govinda actually came from a Shudra family. So Sarvam Bhattacharya was very inquisitive to understand. He was not kind of a questioning, but he was inquisitive. He wanted to understand from Lord Chaitanya Prabhu why Ishwar Puri accepted such a disciple from a Shudra family. Actually, as per the scriptures, as per the Smriti Shastra, a Brahmana cannot accept a disciple from the lower caste. If a spiritual master accepts a disciple from a Shudra community or even any lower caste, he becomes contaminated. So that's what Smriti Shastra says. So Sarvabhattacharya being Gnani, he knows what scriptures talks about, what Smriti Shastra talks about accepting a Shudra as a servant. So Sarvabhattacharya was very inquisitive. He was a bit confused. He wanted to know why Ishwar Puri accepted a servant disciple born of a Shudra family. Now let us see what Lord Chaitanya Prabhu explains. प्रभु काहे ईश्वर हय परम स्वतंत्र ईश्वरेला कृपा हनाहे वेद परतंत्र. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, both Supreme Personality of Godhead and my spiritual master Ishwar Puri are completely independent. Therefore, neither the mercy of Supreme Personality of Godhead nor that of Ishwar Puri is subject to any Vedic rules and regulations. This is exactly what Sarvabhattacharya was telling King Prataprudra before. The same thing again, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling him that when King Prataprudra asked Sarvabhattacharya, why did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu leave Jagannath Puri and went to South India tour? Then Sarvabhattacharya says, no, this is the Supreme Lord. He is Swatantra, he is independent. He can do anything as per his wish. Exactly same thing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling Sarvabhattacharya back again. That both Supreme Personality of Godhead and my spiritual master. So he is keeping spiritual master in the same platform as Supreme Personality of Godhead. So because spiritual master is representative of Supreme Personality of Godhead, so they have, because they have a specific plan to deliver the conditioned souls, same as Supreme Lord. So spiritual master, our Lord Chaitanya Prabhu says, my spiritual master Ishwar Puri is also equally independent because he is the representative of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So neither, it is very difficult to understand the mercy of Supreme Personality of Godhead and these, and also my spiritual master. So these mercy is not subjected to any Vedic rules and regulations. So it is mentioned that the empowered spiritual master like Ishwar Puri, and for that matter, any bona fide spiritual master, he can bestow mercy upon anyone, irrespective of caste or creed. The conclusion, what we understand from this pastime, is that an empowered spiritual master is authorized by Krishna, and his own guru, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is explaining about Ishwar Puri, and also this applicable for every one of us. Should we all should consider that our guru or spiritual master as good as Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. That's what Vishwachakra Thakura, he tells in Saksha Dharitvera Samasta Shastre Ukta Satha Bhavya Etavev Sabdi. So this we glorify in Guru Puja, in Mangalarti every day morning. Hinto Prabhuya Priye Tasya Vande Guru Sri Charanarvindam. The spiritual master, to be one must honor spiritual master as much as Supreme Personality of Godhead, because he is the most confidential servitor of the Lord. So this is what Chaitanya Prabhu is telling Sarvabhaumacharya. So then he says that mercy of Supreme Personality of Godhead is not restricted to the jurisdiction of caste and creed. So he is giving example of Vidura, who was a Shudra, yet Krishna accepted lunch at his home. So we'll not go into the story, but we all know that though Duryodhana called Krishna to have Chappan Bhog at his place, Krishna simply rejected, but he went to Vidura's place. This indicates that Lord or spiritual master, they are not looking at any external the situation of the disciple or devotee, but even though the disciple or devotee is a Shudra, so they wholeheartedly accept, as Krishna accepted Vidura and went to his home and had a lunch. The same way, Ishwar Puri accepted Govinda as his servant. Lord Krishna's mercy is dependent only on affection. Being obliged only by affection, Lord Krishna acts very independently. So this is exactly what Ishwar Puri also exhibited. As Krishna is independent, Ishwar Puri, the spiritual master, also independent. So their mercy does not depend on the mundane rules and regulations. The Lord and spiritual master dependent only on the affection and nothing else. Because what is their objective? Their objective is to deliver the conditioned souls. When they want to deliver conditioned souls, they cannot have any external requirements like he should be a Brahmana, he should be a so and so. So any living entity for that matter is eligible to get delivered. So what is required for a spiritual master, Supreme Personality of Godhead, to accept a disciple or devotee is only the love and affection and the devotional service what we perform. So this brings us to lesson 23. So far we discussed 22 lessons. Once we complete this chapter, I'll post about 30 lessons are there from this chapter. I'll post everything in our group. So lesson 23 brings us that there are two ways to understand the Lord. One is by understanding his position and understanding his disposition. So this actually indicates the understanding the position of the Lord means he is a great personality. He is a Sarva Karana Karanam. He is the cause of all causes. So that shows he has a great personality. Everything is emanating from him. Second one is understanding his disposition. So this is what even Chetan Charan Prabhu was mentioning, that there are two ways we can understand the Lord. One is understanding his position Other one is understanding his disposition. Understanding disposition means understanding his inherent qualities. Inherent quality of Supreme Personality of Godhead is that he is always he is so merciful, compassionate to the fallen conditioned souls he want to deliver. So always he want to help the fallen conditioned souls to get delivered. So that is the inherent quality of uh, Supreme Lord and also the spiritual master. So it is told that we can serve the Lord in affection or in veneration. So this is what we are going to discuss in the next sloka also. When service is rendered in affection, it is the Lord's special mercy. So that is when we understand the disposition of the Lord. Disposition. So his inherent quality, his inherent nature is that he is so kind and compassionate towards the fallen conditioned soul. That is his inherent nature. So in that mode, when we render service to Lord in affection, that is called Lord's special mercy. That is when the Lord, when service to the Lord is rendered in veneration, that is with a awe and reverence. So it is Acharya says that it is doubtful whether Krishna's mercy is actually involved. So it is it is only out of awe and reverence we are worshipping. So there is no love and affection here. So if Krishna's mercy is there, it is dependent. It is not dependent on any prescribed caste or creed. So when we develop the relationship with Krishna or a spiritual master out of love and affection, and we serve them, then the relationship doesn't depend on any prescribed caste or creed, as we see in the case of Govinda. So in Haribhakti Vilasa, Sanatana Goswami also mentions that one who is initiated by bona fide spiritual master immediately becomes a Brahmana. So there is no question of a Shudra or a Vaishya or any other caste or any other bodily condition. The moment he is initiated, he becomes a perfect Brahmana. मर्यादा हैते कोटि सुख स्नेह आचरणे परमानंद हय यार नामस्पश्रवणे. In conclusion, dealings in affection with the Supreme Personality of Godhead brings happiness many millions of times greater than dealings with Him in awe and veneration. So this is when we serve the Lord with out of affection, that he says that brings happiness. Whom? Not only for us, even for Supreme Personality of Godhead. For us, anyway, will get happiness. But even for Supreme Personality of Godhead, he reciprocates because he gives so much of happiness for him. Compared to, his comparison is billion times more greater than the dealings with him in awe and veneration. Simply by hearing the holy names of the Lord, devotee is merged in transcendental bliss. So this is again, it indicates, we were discussing before also, understanding the Lord in Lord his position and understanding the Lord's by disposition, by knowing his disposition. That shows we understand two things from the Lord: understanding the greatness of the Lord, understanding the sweetness of the Lord. Sweetness of the Lord we understand only when we serve him with out of love and affection, and greatness of the Lord is out of awe and reverence. So that is what Chaitanya Prabhu is saying here. So in verse 141, after saying this, Sri Chaitanya Prabhu embraced Govinda, and Govinda in turn offered respectful obeisances to Chaitanya Prabhu's lotus feet. Now comes very interesting discussion between Chaitanya Prabhu and Sarvabhaumacharya. Prabhu kahe Bhattacharya karah vichara gurura kinkara haya manya se amara. Sri Chaitanya Prabhu then continued speaking to Sarvabhaumacharya. Consider this point. The servant of spiritual master is always respectable for me. So he says that as such, it is not befitting that a guru servant should engage in my personal service. Yet my spiritual master has given this order. What shall I do? So Chaitanya Prabhu, he, Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, he is asking Sarvabhaumacharya. This actually shows us, gives us another wonderful lesson that always we must consult a senior devotee when we are in dilemma. So Supreme Personality of Godhead himself is asking Sarvabhaumacharya, This Govinda is actually my god brother. Means he is as good as uh, my spiritual master. He is senior to me. So how can I accept him as my servant? This is not as per the Shastras. So it is not befitting that a guru servant should engage in my personal service. But doubt question is, my spiritual master has given this order. No, Sarvabhattacharya, please guide me. What should I do? So this very important lesson brings to us that when we are in dilemma, when we are not having clarity about what we should do, always must consult a senior devotee. Now let us see what Sarvabhattacharya says. Bata kahe guru ra agna haya balavan guru agna na langiye shastra praman. Sarvabhattacharya said, the order of spiritual master is very strong and cannot be disobeyed. This is injunction of Shastras, the revealed scriptures. So, this brings us to lesson 25. One must always be enthusiastic to follow the instructions of spiritual master and worship the Lord without any disturbance, without any doubt. So, here, since Ishwarpuri has told Govinda to go and serve Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was having a doubt: should I accept him or not? Because he is my god brother. Can I engage him in my service? So, but then he asked Sarvabhattacharya, you clarified that Bata kahe guru ra agna haya balavan is more strong. Haya balavan. The instructions of spiritual is very, very strong and cannot be disobeyed. It is the Shastra Pramana. That is injunction of the Shastras that revealed scriptures. So when Sarvabhattacharya confirms, then Lord Chaitanya Prabhu straight away accepted what he said. So then there is a reference which is quoted here from Sarvabhattacharya quotes a reference from Raghuvamsha. Being ordered by his father, Parashurama killed his mother, Renuka, just as if she was her enemy, his enemy. When Lakshmana, the younger brother of Lord Ramachandra, heard of this, he immediately engaged himself in the service of the elder brother and accepted his orders. The order of spiritual master must be obeyed without any consideration. So, Sarvabhattacharya is quoting verse from Raghuvamsha. And also he quotes Lord Ramachandra's statement to Sita in next verse. That is in from Ramayana he is quoting. The order of a great personality like a father must be executed without consideration because there is a good fortune in such an order for both of us. In particular, there is a good fortune for me. So Lord Ramachandra is telling to Sita that since my father instructed me or he wanted me to go to the forest, giving up the kingdom, so I must obey his instructions without any question, without any deviation. So this is good for all of us. In particular, this is a good fortune for me. So the following instructions of senior devotees, following instructions of acharyas is very, very important for us to follow. So that brings us to verse 147. After Sarvabhattacharya said this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced Govinda and engaged him in the service of his personal body. So then in verse 148, Prabhura Priya Bhrityakari Sabekare Mana Sakala Vaishnavera Govinda Kare Samadhana. Everyone respected Govinda as the dearest servant of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Govinda served all the Vaishnavas and saw their needs. Then it comes both Haridas Senior and Haridas Junior, who are musicians, as well as Ramai and Nandai, used to stay with Govinda. So everyone started engaging in the service of Supreme Personality Godhead. Govinda and other devotees, they all remained with the service of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So therefore, no one could imagine, could estimate the good fortune of Govinda, because Govinda had an opportunity to serve the Lord personally, day and night, he was doing menial service to the Lord. So, because he had an opportunity to perform menial service to the Lord, uh, it is mentioned that no one could estimate the good fortune of Govinda. So, it is very, very fortune if we get a service of the spiritual master, whether it is a Vapu or Vani. So, personal service and Vani service, even following instructions of spiritual master, hearing instructions of spiritual master, are both are same. And when one is engaged in fulfilling the orders of spiritual master, either by personal service or by following his instructions, the fortune will come automatically. So that brings to lesson 26. Serving the Vaishnavas and spiritual master gives one very good fortune. Then we start with the next topic, which is the last topic of this chapter. Aradine Mukunda Datta Kahe Prabhurasthane Brahmananda Bharati Aila Tomara Darshane. The next day, Mukunda Datta informed Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Brahmananda Bharati has come to see you. So let us see who is Brahmananda Bharati and what is the reason for his coming. Mukundatta then asked the Lord, shall I bring him here? Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Brahmananda Bharati is like my spiritual master. It is better that I go to him personally. So he is a very senior devotee, Brahmananda Bharati. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu refused. He said, no, I should not make him to come to me to have my Dasa, to meet me. I should go and meet him. He is equal to my spiritual master. So, once verse 153. After saying this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his devotees came to the presence of Brahmananda Bharati. Personally, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, along with all the disciples, all the devotees, went to meet Brahmananda Bharati. So, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his devotees approached him, they saw that he was covered with a deer skin. Seeing this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very unhappy. So, Brahmananda Bharati, being a sannyasi, he was wearing a deer skin and sitting there. He is a very great devotee, but he was following a particular sampradaya. So, when he accepted sannyas ashram, he started wearing a deer skin. So, what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not very happy to see him. So, Brahmananda Bharati actually, Prabhupada explains that in Papad, he belongs to Shankar Sampradaya. So, Prabhupada says that the title Bharati indicates a member of one of the Sampradayas, 10 classes of sannyasis. So, in Shankara Sampradaya, there are 10 classes of sannyasis are there. So, it is mentioned in scriptures that they are like one is a Giri. That out of 10 classes, Brahmananda Bharati is a Bharati is following a Bharati class. So there are total 10 classes. One is a Giri. Giri means one who lives in the hill. Then somebody called Puri. Puri means city. When a person living in the city, but following the sannyas ashram, he is called, he gets a suffix, the Puri, like Madhendra Puri, Ishwara Puri. So these are Puris. So they are living in the city and follow or become mendicants and following the sannyas ashram. Third one is Bharati. Bharati is what now we are discussing, Brahmananda Bharati. Bharati means is a goddess of learning, similar to Saraswati, which that also we will see. Meaning they are to be established in learning. So they are always trying to learn more and more scriptures continuously. They'll never be satisfied. Then the fourth one is Vana. Vana means a wood. Somebody called having a suffix of Vana, like Brahmananda Bharati. Somebody is called Vana at the end of the name. That is, Vana means wood, means living in the woods. So always they stay in a wooden place and such. I don't know much about Vana, but this is what it indicates. Then fifth one is Parvata. Parvata means mountain. Means living the person, the sannyasi who lives always in the mountain. He is called Parvata. Like he'll get suffix of Parvata, like Brahmananda Parvata, something like that. Then sixth one is Aranya. Aranya means forest. Means they are living in the forest, and they eat all the fruits and vegetables what they get in the forest, and they do austerity in the forest. Then seventh one is Sagara, meaning they're living by the ocean, not inside the ocean, but living near the ocean. So they are called Sagara. And they practice their sannyasa ashram by living near to the ocean. Then eighth one is Tirtha. Tirtha means that is a pilgrimage. So they are always traveling one holy place to other holy place. So they are never staying at one place. They are always visiting holy places and delivering conditioned souls. Ninth one is ashrama. Ashrama is heritage, which is they have a small heritage and they stay there, and the disciples will come and serve them. So they are called ashramas. Then tenth one is Saraswati, like Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So they are Saraswati. They are symbol of knowledge, meaning being blessed by Goddess Saraswati, and therefore they established in the ocean of knowledge. So they are the 10 different classes of sannyasis what we see in this uh, this one, text 154. Now, text 155, it is mentioned that seeing Brahmananda Bharati wearing a deer skin, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu pretended not to see him. Instead, he asked Mukundatta, "Where is Brahmananda Bharati, my spiritual master?" So that shows that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not happy seeing Brahmananda Bharati wearing a deer skin, because that shows more a sentimental and attachment, or more of a show off, that I'm a sannyasi, I'm wearing a deer skin, I'm very austere. So this kind of a show off people do. So Chaitanya Prabhu is not very happy to see. So he pretended as if he is not seen Brahmananda Bharati. He is asking Mukundatta, hey, where is Brahmananda Bharati? He is seeing, actually, he is seeing in front of him, but still is asking a question to Brahmananda Bharati. He is completely ignoring him. Where is Brahmananda Bharati, my spiritual master? So then Mukundatta replies that, here is Brahmananda Bharati, my Lord. He is sitting in your presence. Then Lord says, no, 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 no. Mukundatta, what are you saying? He is not Brahmananda Bharati. Then he says that you must be talking to someone else. For this, surely he is not Brahmananda Bharati. You simply have no knowledge. So he is indirectly he is pulling legs of Brahmananda Bharati, actually, by not recognizing him or by ignoring him, because of his ego, because of his attachment, because of his self prestige, what he is carrying. Says, why should Brahmananda Bharati wear a deer skin? Suni Brahmananda kare hridaya vichare mora charmambara ena bhaya inhare. When Brahmananda Bharati heard this, he thought, my deer skin is not approved by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he understood. He understood that is not that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu not really recognized me, but he is actually poking me because he is not happy me wearing this deer skin. So Bala kahe na charmambara damba lagi pari charmambara paridhane samsarana patari. Thus, admitting his mistake, Brahmananda Bharati thought, he spoke well. I put on this deer skin only for prestige. I cannot cross over the ocean of nescience simply by wearing deer skin. So this brings a wonderful lesson for us, that one should not exhibit renunciation just for prestige or name or fame. So the renunciation must be within the heart. It should be exhibited in our activities, not just for the show off. So as we seen in the previous slokas also, one who engages all his riches, all his senses in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for him, he don't have to take any sannyas ashrama. So that itself is the greatest renunciation, that we engage everything in the service of the Lord. So then Brahmananda Bharati decided, from today on, I shall not wear this skin. As soon as Brahmananda Bharati decided this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, understanding his mind, immediately sent for robes of a sannyasi. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu understood what is happening in Brahmananda Bharati's heart. So Brahmananda Bharati started repenting. Oh, what a mistake I did. So I should not have done this. I'm doing only this for my false prestige. Now here on, I will not wear this deer skin. The moment he determined, Lord Chaitanya Prabhu understood the heart of Brahmananda Bharati, immediately he ordered to order his disciples to get the saffron robes for Brahmananda Bharati. And what he did, as soon as Brahmananda Bharati gave up the deer skin and covered himself with sannyasi robes, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and offered his respects to his lotus feet. His order, he came and embraced him. No, because Ramananda Bharati is such a great Vaishnava, he Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu considered him as a spiritual master. He came and fell at his lotus feet. So before that, he made sure that he is following the injunctions of the Shastras perfectly. Not to, so he removed the false prestige factor from Brahmananda Bharati. Then he becomes so pure. Then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went and fell at his lotus feet. Verse 162, भारती काहे तुम्हारा आचार लोक शिखायते पुनः न करी बेनाती भाया पाना चित्ते. Brahmananda Bharati said, you instruct the general populace by your behavior. I will not do anything against your wishes, my lord. Otherwise, you will not offer me respects, but you will neglect me. I am afraid of this. So, very important point here we see the Brahmananda Bharati is not expecting Lord to offer respects to him. His concern is, if I'm not following the instructions of Supreme Lord, Lord will neglect me. So that is his concern. He's afraid, more afraid about that. He's not talking about whether Lord will respect me, whether Lord will pay obeisances to me, since I am being a very senior Vaishnava, senior sannyasi. So that is not the expectation of Brahmananda Bharati. Brahmananda Bharati was afraid that Lord neglects me. So I cannot tolerate that when Lord neglects. So verse 163, here very important, nice discussion happens between Brahmananda Bharati and Lord Chaitanya Prabhu. Sampratika dui Brahma ihan ka chala chala Jagannatha achala Brahma tumita achala. So this is 163. 163 here, Brahmananda Bharati is talking about two Brahmans. He says, my lord, here I can see two Brahmans in Jagannath Puri. One Brahman is Lord Jagannath, who does not move. Chala achala. Sampratika dui Brahma ihan chala achala. So one is chala, other is achala. One does not move. Lord Jagannath is sitting here, he does not move. And other Brahman who is moving, you, my lord. Lord Jagannatha is Archavigraha and his worshipable deity. And it is not he who is a non-moving Brahman, but you are Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You are moving here and there. The two of you are the same Brahman, master of material nature, but you are playing two parts, one moving and other one not moving. In this way, two Brahmans are now residing at Jagannath Puri Purushottama. So, Ramananda Bharati is glorifying Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is because he realized, he understood that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Supreme Person of Godhead himself. So he is talking about two Brahmans in Jagannath Puri. One Brahman who is Jagannath, he is not moving, and you are the Brahman, you are the same personality of Godhead, and you are a moving Brahman. So he is comparing both as same. तुम्ही गौरव वर्ण तेन्हा श्यामल वर्ण दुई ब्रह्मे कैला सभा जगत तारणा. Of the two Brahmans, you are the fair complexion, and other Lord Jagannath is blackish. Both of you are delivering the whole world. So he is actually saying that there is no difference between you and Supreme Personality or Jagannath. So here Brahmananda Bharati, he was trying to prove that Jagannath and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are one. Both are Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now let us see what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is trying to say for him. Then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, actually, Prabhu kahi satya kahi tumara aga mane dui brahma prakatila Sri Purushottame. See, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, actually, to tell you the truth, due to your presence here, there are now two Brahmans at Jagannath Puri. Now he is totally reversing the situation. He said, yeah, what you told is true. There are two Brahmans. One is Lord Jagannath, second one is you. ब्रह्मानंद नामा तुम्ही गौर ब्रह्माचाला श्याम वर्ण जगन्नाथ वैशाचे न achala. So he says, bro, Brahmananda and Gaurhari are moving, whereas the blackish Jagannath is sitting tight and immobile. So here, what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is indicating is that he is Jagannath is Brahman. He is a Parabrahman, and you and me are Brahman. We are only Jivas. So indirectly, he is saying that himself and Brahmananda Bharati are only Jivas, and Supreme Lord is Parabrahman. So he is nullifying the argument of Brahmananda Bharati, saying, "My Lord, you are the Brahman. You are not different from Jagannath." So he says, "No, Jagannath is Jagannath. He is a Parabrahman. He is a Supreme Brahman. Whereas you and me are only Jivas. We are moving Brahman. He is a non-moving Brahman." So indirectly, he is indicating that Jagannath is a Parabrahman and you and me are only Jivas. Then the argument continues. Bharati ka he sarvabhauma madhyastha khana inhare sane amara nyaya bhuje namana diya. So now Brahmanand Bharati is pulling Saurabh Bhattacharya into discussion. He says that, my dear Saurabh Bhattacharya, please become the mediator in this logical argument between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and me. Whereas I am saying both Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Jagannath are same. Whereas this personality, he says, you and me are the same. Jagannath is different. So indirectly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not accepting the fact that he is Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is equating himself with me, saying that we are Jivas. He is Supreme Personality of Godhead. So don't say this. So indirectly, he is cautioning Brahmananda Bharati. Now, Brahmananda Bharati is asking Saurabh Bhattacharya to please help him to resolve this logical argument. So that brings us to lesson 28. One should always approach a senior devotee for the resolution. We should not take any our own decision when there is a conflict or when there is a confusion. We should immediately approach senior devotee for a resolution of the matter. So then Brahmananda Bharati is continuing. The living entity is localized, whereas the Supreme Brahman is all pervading. This is the verdict of revealed scriptures. So Brahmananda Bharati is trying to influence Saurabh Bhattacharya. He asked him, Saurabh Bhattacharya, please help me to sort out this logical discussion. He's adding his points so that Saurabh Bhattacharya can take a decision and come to conclusion. What is the argument he is saying is that living entities are very, very small. It is said that living entity is 1/10,000th tip of the hair. Therefore, living entity is localized. So where is the comparison between me and this Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? I am a ordinary Liva. I am a localized Jiva, whereas he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then he says in verse 69 that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu purified me by taking away my deer skin. This is a proof that he is all pervasive and all powerful, and I am subordinate to him. So that brings lesson 29, that one should always remain humble and understand the absolute truth. So to understand absolute truth, we always will be very, very humble. So here Brahmananda Bharati is saying, or he is highlighting the fact or point that Lord Chaitanya Prabhu has purified. He knows everything. He is Sarva Karana Karanam, and he understands everything what is happening and what is there in my heart. And I had a false prestige, and he wanted to remove my false prestige. He told, he pretended as if he has not recognized me. So he made me to realize and remove this deer skin and follow the Shastric injunctions. So that itself is a proof that he is Parabrahman, is Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then he quotes very beautiful verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. It is from Mahabharata, of course, but it references Srimad Bhagavatam also. Suvarna Varna Hemango Varnanga Chandananga. So we know this sloka wherein it mentioned that Lord appear in Kali Yuga again as in the golden complexion, His body hue is golden and his whole body is molten gold. Every part of his body is beautifully constructed and smeared with sandalwood pulp. So he is Brahmananda Bharati is quoting this sloka to confirm, to prove that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he says that all the symptoms mentioned in the verse from Vishnu Sahasranama are visible in the body of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. His arms are decorated with sandalwood pulp and thread received from Sri Jagannath deity. And these are his ornamental bangles. So he is coming to conclusion. He is telling Sarvam Bhattacharya that, see, I am giving all the Shastrical references also, that this personality is none other than the Supreme Lord. So now you tell what is your final logical solution, conclusion. भट्टाचार्य का हे भारती देखी तुम्हारा जया प्रभु का हे यही कहा से ही सत्य है. Hearing this, Saurabhattacharya rendered his judgment, saying, Brahmananda Bharati, I see you are the victorious. So indirectly, Saurabhattacharya is saying that this personality is Supreme Personality Godhead himself. The moment he said, see what Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Prabhu kahe ekaha sehi satya haya. Immediately he changed. So what he said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I accept whatever Brahmananda Bharati has said. It is quite all right with me, no problem. So I am accepting whatever he is saying. This is the first time we see where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepting that he is Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. But he is twisting again. Now let us see what he says in verse 173. He says that Guru Shishya Nyaya Satya Shishera Parajaya Bharati Kahe Ho Nahe Anya Hetu Nahaya. He says that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu thus posed himself a disciple and accepted Brahmananda Bharati as his spiritual master and said, the disciple is certainly defeated in an argument with the spiritual master. Now he is completely twisting. He says, okay, I accept what Brahmananda Bharati said, not because you confirmed it, because Brahmananda Bharati is my spiritual master. So what the spiritual master said, I have to accept. So he is, one hand, he is indirectly accepting that I am Supreme Personality of Godhead because Brahmananda Bharati said, and he is giving a much higher position to Brahmananda Bharati, said, Brahmananda Bharati is my spiritual master, I am only his disciple. So what can I say? Brahmananda Bharati is, because spiritual master is always right. So always disciple gets defeated. So Brahmananda Bharati immediately countered these words. Now there's argument going on, discussion between both of them, saying, this is not the cause of your defeat, my lord. There is another cause. No, I'm happy that you accepted your defeat. But your defeat is not because I am spiritual master and your disciple. There is one more cause for that, my lord. Then he said, it is your natural characteristic to accept defeat at the hands of your devotee. There is another glory of yours which I will ask you to hear very attentively. Ara eka suna tumi apanna prabhava. He says that there is another glory of yours which I am requesting you, my lord, to be very attentively listen. So he is coming to conclusion here. He says, Ajanma karino muni nirakara dhyana toma dekhi Krishna haila mura vidyamana. I have been meditating on impersonal Brahman since my birth, but since I have seen you, I have fully experienced Krishna. So he says that you are accepting me as spiritual master. What kind of a spiritual master I am? Since childhood, I am meditating on impersonal Brahman. When I got realized only when I have seen you. When I have seen you, I have fully, really I am experiencing Krishna only by seeing. All along, I am meditating on the impersonal feature of the Lord. Only effulgence of the Lord I am meditating. But now I am seeing the cause of that effulgence. So I am seeing you physically. I am experiencing you, my Lord. So that is what Brahmananda Bharati is telling Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Verse 176. Krishna name pure mukhe mane netre Krishna toma ke tadrupa dekhi hridaya shastrana satrishna. This is Sat Krishna, very eager. So Brahmananda Bharati continued, since I have seen you, I have been feeling Lord Krishna's presence in my mind and have been seeing him before my eyes. Now I want to chant the holy name of Lord Krishna. Over and above this, within my heart, I consider you to be Krishna. I am therefore very eager to serve you. So this is that actually, yeah. So in that is Ramananda Bharati is giving a conclusion that how one should perform the devotional service. He says that always now I want to chant the holy name of Lord Krishna. Over and above this, within my heart, I consider you to be Krishna, and I therefore always eager to serve you. So this is how a devotee must perform his devotional service. Like what Brahman Bharati says that always you should be engaged in the chanting of holy name, and by chanting the holy name of the Lord, we will be able to see Krishna within our heart, and always we must be very, very eager to serve the holy name and serve the devotees of the Lord. Then he quotes, gives example of Bilomanga Thakura. Bilva Mangala Kaileyache Dasa Apanara Ihan Dekhi Sei Dasa Ha Ila Amara. Bilomanga Thakura abandoned his impersonal realization for the realization of personality of Godhead. I now see that my condition is similar to his, for it has already changed. So he is quoting Bilomanga Thakura, who Prabhupada explains in Purport that he was impersonalist monist since in his early life. He used to meditate upon the impersonal Brahman effulgence. Later, he became the devotee of Krishna, and his explanation for this change is given in the verse that is quoted in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So, Brahmananda Bharati is quoting the example of Bilomanga Thakura, saying, like Bilomanga Thakura, who has been or who was impersonalist in his early life, how he abandoned his impersonal realization. Similarly, now my condition is that since I have seen you, I met you, my Lord, I completely changed. I become a pure, I become your devotee. I am no more impersonalist, my Lord. So that is what he is saying. Then Brahmananda Bharati concluded, although I was worshipped by those on the path of monism and initiated into self-realization through yoga system, I have nonetheless been forcibly turned into a maid servant by some cunning boy who is always joking with gopis. So he is accepting his position, Ramananda Bharati accepting his position because he was from Shankara Sampradaya. He's taken sannyasa from Shankara Sampradaya. So he was accepting his status, saying, I have been worshipped, or I was worshipped by those in the path of monism, initiated into self-realization through yoga system. So I've been practicing this impersonalism for all along, but I have nonetheless been forcibly turned into maid servant. So become a servant of Supreme Personality of Godhead. No? Forcibly turned. So he is actually joking. He says that with a lot of force, you have taken out all this ignorance from me, my Lord, and so that I become a devotee and self-realized soul. So again, he is quoting verse from Bilomanga Thakura, which he is accepting his own position of Brahmananda Bharati. Prabhu kahe Krishna tomara gada prema haya yaha netra pade taha Sri Krishna's puraya. Lord Chaitanya Prabhu replied, you have a deep ecstatic love for Krishna. Therefore, whatever turn your eyes, you simply heighten your Krishna consciousness. So, this is in verse 179. Chaitanya Prabhu saying, you are great advanced devotee, O Brahmananda Bharati, because you have ecstatic love towards Supreme Lord, because you are able to see Krishna everywhere and anywhere, and there is no doubt about it. You are a wonderful, pure devotee of the Lord. So in next two verses, you see, Sauramacharya is giving conclusions. Again, he says that statements of both of you are correct. Krishna gives direct audience through his mercy. Without having ecstatic love for Krishna, one cannot see him directly. Therefore, through the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Brahmananda Bharati has acquired direct vision of the Lord. Now he is compromising between these two. Whatever you, Brahmananda Bharati, whatever you said is true, that he is Supreme Person Godhead and he is none other than Jagannath. And my Lord, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, whatever you told is right, because this person has a deep love for Krishna. He is able to see Krishna everywhere. So what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, that actually I am not Supreme Lord, because you are so much devoted to Krishna, you are able to see Krishna everywhere. Because of that, you are feeling, you are treating me also as a Krishna, a Supreme Lord. So that is your humility, and that is kind of a devotional, so much of love for Krishna you have. You are not differentiating any jivas, anybody surrounding you, everyone, everything you are seeing as a part and parcel of Krishna. So now Sarvabhattacharya is saying, yes, yes, what you said is true, what you said is also true. Because of you, Brahmanda Bharati has got a direct vision of the Lord, and he is able to see Krishna everywhere, and you are the Krishna. So he is concluding that. Then, when Sarvabhattacharya concluded that you are Krishna himself, then you see what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, now he completely changed. He said, Prabhu kahe Vishnu Vishnu ki kaha sarvabhauma ati stuti haya e nindara lakshana. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Sarvabhattacharya, what are you saying? He is closing your ears. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he says, Vishnu, Vishnu. He says that, oh Lord Vishnu, save me. He is such a blaspheming, that this kind of a glorification is a very great blasphemy. You are making me as same as Vishnu, as the incarnation of Vishnu, as incarnation of the Lord, equal to Jagannath. So he was very, very embarrassed by Bhattacharya's statement. Therefore, he uttered the name Vishnu to save himself. The Lord herein confirms that if one is overestimated, glorification is just another form of blasphemy. So this is a wonderful lesson for us, that when somebody is glorifying us, when we know that we are not qualified for that, we should immediately pass on to our senior acharyas and Supreme Personality of Godhead. One should not accept, because we are not qualified for any of this glorification, because whatever we are talking about is what we received from acharyas, what we received from Supreme Personality of Godhead. So one should never accept any glorification from other devotees, others. So this is a beautiful lesson we get from the pastime of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. After saying this, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took Brahmananda Bharati with him to his residence. From that time on, Ramananda Bharati remained with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Later, Ramabhadra Acharya, Bhagavan Acharya joined him, and giving him all the responsibilities, remained under Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's shelter. Next day, Kashishwara Gosani also came and remained with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we discussed about Kashishwara and Govinda. These two are together. They were serving Ishwarapuri. So Kashishwara Gosai also he came and remained with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, received with great respect. Kashishwar used to usher Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Mahaprabhu into Jagannath temple. He would preside Lord into crowd and keep the people from touching him. So he is a kind of a bodyguard, like a bouncer for Supreme Personality of Godhead, protecting him from other crowd. All the rivers, this is very important statement author is making here. As all the rivers flow into the sea, all the devotees throughout the country finally came to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's shelter. So this is finally which is going to happen. Every living entity in this universe must accept the shelter of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and take up the holy name very sincerely. Yata nada nadi aiche samudre milaya aiche Mahaprabhura bhakta yahata haya. Like all the rivers flow into the sea, all the devotees throughout the country finally came to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's shelter. Since all the devotees came to him for shelter, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed them all mercy and kept them under his protection. So when we take the shelter of holy name, we automatically get the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is the conclusion of this chapter. Sabe ais आसी मिलीला प्रभुरा श्री शरणे प्रभु Prabhu Krupakari Sabaya Rakhila Nija Sthane. So one who takes up the shelter of holy name, one who takes the shelter of Supreme Personal Godhead, Lord Chaitanya Prabhu, so he will give his causeless mercy and always protects him from the miseries of this material world. Thus, I have described the meeting of all the Vaishnavas with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Whoever hears this description ultimately attains the shelter at his lotus feet. This is the philosophy of this chapter. When all of us who discussed the pastime of Lord Chaitanya Prabhu upon return from the South India tour, and he met all the great Vaishnavas. We have seen the examples of so many great Vaishnavas coming and meeting Lord Chaitanya Prabhu, like Brahmananda Bharati, Govinda, all these personalities coming and meeting Lord Chaitanya Prabhu. One who hears this description ultimately attains the shelter at his lotus feet. Tirupa Raghunatha Pade Yara Asa Chaitanya Charitamrta Kahe Krishna Dasa. Praying at the lotus feet of Rupa and Raghunatha, always desiring their mercy. I, Krishna Dasa, narrate Sri Chaitanya Charitamrta, following in their footsteps. Thus end Bhaktivedanta purpose to Sri Chaitanya Charitamrta Madhya Lila, 10th chapter, describes the Lord's meeting the Vaishnavas upon his return to Jagannath Puri from South India. Hare Krishna. So thus ends this beautiful chapter of Lord's return to Jagannath Puri from South India to and meeting so many great Vaishnavas. Though appears to be a very simple chapter, like there are so many personalities coming and meeting Lord and discussing with him. It gives so many wonderful lessons. We've seen almost 30 lessons were packed in this. Actually, there's many more, but because of time factor, I could highlight only very few lessons what we can learn from this and take home for our practice on our day-to-day life. So this ends Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 10. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. So if any questions, comments, please we can discuss. Then we'll conclude the session here. And from next week, as I mentioned, that we are going to start a discussion on Sri Brihad Bhagavatamrita, which is a wonderful epic, wonderful scripture written by Srila Sanatana Goswami. And it gives, there is a very, very particular reason why we want to discuss this after this chapter. So that we'll discuss the reason, we'll discuss in the next week. And I request everyone to not to miss the Brihad Bhagavatamrita discussion, and also encourage all your known devotees and non-devotees. Not necessarily they have to be a practicing devotee also. Anybody who is pious can bring them for the class. And next maybe 5 to 6 sessions we'll cover Sri Brihad Bhagavatamrita, and then we'll continue chapter 11, the Beda Kirtan, which is when all the devotees they come to meet Chaitanya Prabhu since he is returned from South India tour. All of them they come and meet Chaitanya Prabhu. They started coming now. We've seen devotees have started coming, and when all the devotees come and meet Chaitanya Prabhu, how the Lord performs Kirtan in Jagannath Puri, that we are going to see in chapter 11. That will continue once we complete the discussion on Brihad Bhagavatamrita for next 5 to 6 weeks. Hare Krishna. Any questions, comments, we can discuss.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Nice to see you. Happy to see you, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, hearing classes from you like devotees flowing through the Ganges and
Vishnu,
coming
Vishnu.
to Anantadev, coming
Vishnu,
to the
Vishnu.
Anantadev and hearing
Because
Lord's stories.
Prabhu, this is Chaitanya Charitamrita. Anybody who talks Chaitanya Charitamrita is a real nectar. So it is nothing my greatness.
Just one doubt, Prabhuji. Like you said, Bilumangal Thakur, he was impersonalist, then became devotees. But we know the story that Chintamani prostitute, he made him, to to relinquish his desire. Then he pierced his eyes. Then went to Vrindavan, and Lord showed his Lord hold his hand to go to the Vrindavan. So how he was impersonalist? That story I don't know. Do you have the story, Prabhuji? How
Yes,
he was
Prabhu. That
impersonalist?
that part also is part of our discussion starting from next week. And also, I seen one question from Anangamajar Mataji. That also exactly the reason for uh, why we are going to discuss about Brihad Bhagavatamrita. Mata is asking question. Can you please explain more about mood of awe and reverence? That also we are going to discuss as part of Brihad Bhagavatamrita. And your question, Birishna Prabhu, also is part of the same discussion. We'll cover in detail in coming 5 to 6 weeks. And definitely, I look forward to having your association for this coming discussion so that we can have more and more questions and can discuss at the end of each session, maybe 15-20 minutes we can keep for discussion. But definitely, your question and Mataji's question is answered part of Growth Bhagavatamrita. I would like to reserve the answer for the next week's discussion.
Okay, Prabhu. Only Saturday I have office half day, so that is why I am absent from the Chaitanya Charitamrita class. So, but whenever I get the opportunity, I will attend to.
Okay, but please try to be there for next few weeks, Prabhu, because Growth Bhagavatamrita we are going to discuss.
Okay, thank you.
Try to attend and try to also engage more souls for the discussion. Chala, achala means one who is moving. Achala means one who is not moving. Sangeeta Mataji, so this is the answer to your question. Chala, achala, moving Lord, non-moving Lord. So Ramananda Bharati is saying Lord Jagannatha is achala. So he is non-moving. He is stable. He is at one place. Whereas Chaitanya Prabhu is achala. He is moving. So, no, sorry, Chala is moving, Achala is non-moving. So, that is what one is stable, moving, other one is non-moving.
Right, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
So, thank you very much, Prabhuji's Matajis. So, if there's no questions, comments, we'll end the session here. So, we'll continue discussion next week. We'll start discussing about Brihad Bhagavatamrita from 1st March 2025. Hare Krishna. Dandat pranam to all. वाचा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत